I think with this Group B, though, if we just step back a little bit, there should be 3 clear favorites for me. Astralis, ENCE, and Vitality are some of the top teams in the world. I would expect them to be favorites to make it through. Let's see if Astralis can pull that off as we head into Overpass.
Well, here it is. Overpass, the pistol getting started. It's going to be big. Having the utility available to them on the T side. Astralis over here, they've got utility on Glaive, the rest with Kevlar. And so big, what have they got in plan for us? What have they got in store? As Antares will be the front man, charging his way through middle, straight towards Connector. No one here from Astralis to really contest either. And so, well, Big haven't spotted anyone. Very well taken towards Connector. Eventually they'll have to come in towards B, and they've got the info here, Astralis.
That they do. Xyp9x has pushed all the way through Monster. Dupree goes down and Xyp9x is there to trade him out. But Big straight onto the B bomb site. They should get this bomb planted momentarily. And Astralis have 2 players incredibly low on health.
Well, smoke goes up towards heaven. Glaive trying to hold on, but Device is slowly but surely making his way back into the bomb site. Astralis are coming out worse for wear. 2 low HP players. Molotov comes in, and again, Device doesn't really want to walk through that, so they're going to have to bide their time. No chance for Glaive. He's been finished off by Tabson. Device will pick up the trade. Is still looking so solid here for Big. The time is ticking. No kit available as Magisk will get one. Device dropped. It's all a Magisk, and there's just not enough time for this. If he can get the kills, that's all that matters. But Tizian and God B will pick up the pistol. 1-0 for Big.
A team ace for Big as well. We were talking about how I think we need to see players like Dennis and Tizian step up in the fragging department. That's what comes through for Big on the initial pistol round, but they aren't out of the waters just yet. 4 MAC-10s for Big against the 4 spy from Astralis. Only the 1 AK in the hands of Tabson. So the firepower, the weaponry here for Big isn't really as great as you might have expected. And it feels like Astralis could definitely compete in this round in on the 4 spy.
Well, there goes some aggression from Magisk up towards short. Tabson will take him away with the headshot, and it's into the man advantage for Big. We have seen some crazy plays for Xantares. This man on your screen, he has got a MAC-10, but Xyp9x holding this Eagle. It might just be the kill, but Xantares will take some damage on board. Xyp9x just pushing forward, doing a hell of a lot of damage on that scout. They're all softened up.
That's where the MAC-10s... Oh no, team kill from Glaive. That's not great. Dennis rushing right into the site, but Glaive makes up for his mistake with the frag onto the site itself. I don't think Astralis are going to be doing too much here, though. Device looking for the angle with the scout.
Yeah, a couple of shaky plays here from Astralis. Obviously dropping your teammates, not exactly the way you want to get things going, but Device will take the head off Tabson. Time ticking. Big, and the bomb planted. Looking very solid indeed as Device looking for some luck, just trying to drop a couple of these players. Of course, Xyp9x has done damage, so a lot of them are still pretty squishy, and Glaive knows this. They're just going to try and get rid of the weapons here. Glaive tunnel visions the AK. Because of that, Tizian catches him. So it's all on Device to try and drop a few players here on Big.
Backing away, and Xantares finds the shot on towards him. Must have been a tight angle with the scout. But Big's 4 MAC-10 buy works out for them. A slight risk taken in the second round to only have the 1 AK, but they get it going on the B side of the map. And from what I've seen from this Big squad on Overpass, they definitely feel like they favor that B site a little bit more. Against Fnatic in that series, they were oftentimes setting up the B takes early. They were trying to make sure they could get into the B side of the map. I think that's in part, though, because Fnatic did a great job against Big of taking away that A control. They had a couple of early mollies in towards mid. Astralis might not play the same way, but they've got the boost trying to catch Xantares. Sadly, Xantares has managed to sneak his way forwards with that MAC-10. Shouldn't be too difficult for Big to get this one.
Well, Gold B with a MAC-10. Dupree's almost certainly dead. His Device as well. They haven't checked him, and there it is. Gold B runs over the top. Could have definitely been devastating if Device had gone on check, but he's spotted. And so danger averted. It's all on to Xyp9x and Magisk to try and make the 2v5 happen with just USPs. What a feat this would be. But Xantares will get rid of Xyp9x with the MAC-10. It's all on Magisk into a 1v5. And Big will go 3-0. certainly the good start the Big were looking for, and obviously coming into the next one, that's when we get to see Astralis get the rifles in their hands. That's when they should cause more of a problem, but Big have actually kept all 5 players alive in this one, so that's great for their economy. No one's forced to rebuy, and so that's going to mean that Astralis have to try and crush them here.
That's exactly what Astralis are going to be hoping for. No AWP for Device, which is definitely a shame. He's been quite an important piece of the puzzle for Astralis. He's been in great form recently, even though Astralis as a team haven't been looking too good. Device was definitely their standout player at the Pro League Finals. So not getting him an AWP is a slight shame. Also, not buying a kit when Device has money for the kit is also something that's not great, but I'll let him off. I'll let him off this time, just because he is so good.
Just hope it doesn't come down to a defuse, right?
I hope not.
Well, here they go. Big starting to approach towards a long. All 5 players up towards this side of the map as they start to take their time. Utility will go over, flashbangs to flash anybody who was holding the angle off. Device is over here alongside Dupree. They can work in tandem to cause a little bit of hurt on towards Big. And Device, he's going to be looking for this opening pick as he makes his way towards long. Got B just in behind the stone. And Device, he's just patiently waiting here, not overextending too much, but here goes the push. That's it, that's the kill. Device keeps going forward and will get traded back by Dennis, but they've got Dupree here to follow up. Well, they expect the second player to be in the corner.
Flash over the top, and Dupree turns it around. 2 kills from him in towards A long. Such a nice hold from Dupree there. And now Tizian is trying to see if he can get this bomb back. Xantares over in the bathrooms is also looking to move forwards, but Tizian has got the bomb into his hands. With only 30 seconds left on the clock, though, Big have got to get this done soon.
Well, Utility's going to go on in. It's 17 seconds left here, Big. They've left it lit. Astralis certainly looking like a strong force on the A-bomb side. It will be the peak from Dupree. That's his 3rd into the round as well. It's all on Xantares. 8 seconds. Not going to happen for him unless he plays for elimination. He will take the kill into Dupree. And he's just going to run away at this point. Realizes it is over for him. It's important that he stays alive here. And Astralis will let that happen. So 3-1. Astralis much better. Device gets that kill towards long. Dupree able to find the follow-up. That's 2 kills added to his name. And obviously in crunch time, Big just had no time to get it done. So pause has to come through.
Yeah, Dupree was one of the players I was maybe suggesting was slightly below the level we were expecting from him in some of those recent tournaments. Nice to see him on the board early here on Overpass. For the Big side of things, I don't think they'll be too worried about that. Only their first round loss, and again, I'm expecting to see those B-sided executes come through for Big quite often. That will be an interesting side of the map to watch towards.
Yeah, and if you at home were wondering what this is, Astralis have a couple of technical problems. That's why the pause has come through. It's tech pause for Astralis, and just getting that tech pause coming in just at the time when they were stepping up, when they were looking stronger. Hopefully that doesn't disrupt the momentum too much as we move into the next one. But Big, what a start from them. Getting those 3 on the board, that's exactly what they would have wanted, especially going up against Astralis. They are the underdogs. I believe Big actually fell out of the HLTV top 30, right? They're one of the lower ranked teams coming into this event.
Yeah, I think they're down 34th in the world now. Slightly above MVP PK, the team coming in from Asia. Haven't really seen too much from Big with this new roster especially. They haven't been to a massive amount of tournaments, so I'm sure that's part of the reason behind it. Early here on Overpass though, it has been a team effort in terms of the kills in these first few rounds, which is definitely a positive sign. Xantares up there on 5 kills, and then the rest of the squad with 3 frags each. Again, at the end of that round, you also saw Xantares being the man who is trying to make the solo plays, right? He's alone in the bathrooms trying to get it done by himself. I think he's quite well suited to that role. It's just a question of whether the rest of the Big team can kind of draw attention and make it so that Xantares is in good positions to showcase his aim.
Well, Big are probably going to soar above the top 30 at this event, hopefully, if they can perform well. And teams like Sprout, German roster, actually higher up on the scoreboard on the rankings than Big are. We haven't seen Big too often, so they've had some time to sort of prepare their map pool for this event, start to look into some of their opponents. I'm sure they will have done that very well indeed. And some of the other teams that you'll find above Big, which is just kind of crazy to me, Alex, when I seen that statistic that they were 34th in the world. The likes of Aristocracy with Taz's team, the Polish roster, Fours, the Russian team, Greyhound, the Australians, Complexity, Cloud9, Gamer Legion, Tricked, Sprout, Ancient of Anger. All these teams are currently placing above Big. So if they're hard to have a great performance at Cologne like they did last year, that would certainly see them skyrocket above the rest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there who haven't even got the chance to see Big play. If you only started watching Counter-Strike a couple of months ago, you probably wouldn't have seen this team. You wouldn't have seen the veteran God B lead this squad.
Exactly. Coming into this event, right, there's so many teams that's the similar storyline as well, because, you know, Navi hadn't played for like a month and a half or something, so we haven't seen the best player in the world get to play for a long time, and obviously Simple is always going to come back and have a good performance. Navi get the win, just barely though, 16-14, Electronic showing up there in that series as well. And here on the B stream, we've seen some crazy games with Liquid only winning 16-14 against MVP PK. In our follow-up matchup, Furia got dismantled from NRG.
Yeah, that one not as close as our opening game. It was really exciting after our opening game. We were like, yeah, it's going to be a bunch of close games. All these teams are really close together. It's really competitive. And then Furia not quite being able to pull that off. Talking about this Big squad, though, in the past, what they've been really good at for me is especially those flash assists. The flashbangs have generally been good for them. They're one of the best teams in the world statistically if you look at the flash assists, which is something that's always nice for this Big roster. And if you look at the actual time that they sort of flash enemies, oftentimes that's not as high for them, but that's because they're using their flashbangs really well in terms of taking towards the site, in terms of setting up those flashes for their teammates to peek. And then they're also a really good team at getting the nade damage. They're definitely good with the utility, and that means that Big need to make sure they do control the economy to stay on top of things, to make sure they can get those full nades.
Well, indeed, as we are just waiting for Astralis to get all their technical problems solved here in Cologne. And why don't we talk a little bit about perhaps the history of Cologne. Obviously, this is where we first started to see the rise of ENCE. I think they performed very well, made a statement for themselves at Cologne last year. And obviously, we've seen what ENCE can do, currently number 2 in the world on by HLTV's rankings, which is kind of crazy to see, right? There's such a rise, exponential rise from the Finns, and they've actually, it's not just a one and done at Katowice, right? It's been pretty consistent across the board, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that team can do. We'll have them here on the B stream a little later on as well. I'm sure they've got a lot of fans that are excited to see how the Finns will play.
If you had to pick one team who you think might be able to surprise at this tournament, who would you give it to? It's kind of hard because...
I think, obviously... Not surprised, but I think one of the dark horses probably is NRG. I think they could definitely be a team. Yeah, it's definitely clear, not clear cut. I think across the top 5, I think it's pretty wide open, because we have seen Liquid even struggle against MVP. So the fact that they struggle against a team like that, certainly playing against some of the better teams in the world, it is going to be a very close contest, and that's why Cologne is going to be amazing once we get to the arena. It's also amazing here because we still got, look at the first day and look at the games we've got. Exactly.
And I think looking overall at the big picture of this Group B, I was just saying earlier, I think there are kind of 3 clear favorites who should be thinking they can make it through in Astralis, ENCE, and Vitality, all sort of top 5 teams in the world that will be expecting to make it through to the playoffs. But the teams that maybe could beat them, teams like Big and Fnatic, definitely are teams on their day that can be really, really good. Fnatic, for me, have been a bit hit and miss, maybe, throughout the last few months. Sometimes it seems like that squad gels really well, but sometimes they kind of struggle. It's a bit of a weird team.
It is really weird, right? Fnatic have these sort of up and down periods where at the end of 2018, they were looking pretty solid. They go into the end of the year winning an event in PLG Grand Slam Abu Dhabi. They go on to play really poorly as the #1 seed in the Challenger stage at the IM Katowice Major. And obviously, well, they finally made it. They're in Cologne. We'll see what they can do here, because at Pro League, they didn't look excellent at all.
Well, that technical pause looks like it is sorted. We are all good to go back into the game. Big with an early lead, but the first gun round has gone the way of Astralis. Let's see if Big can turn it around this time. No AWP for Big into this round. Dennis has to stick with the AK. And those early mid-mollies are something we're seeing more and more. That's something Fnatic were doing against Big in their game. They were consistently taking mid-control with those Molotovs. Broang was pushing into Playground. Astralis decide not to push off the back of it, though, because Big smoked one of those mollies, and they are able to move towards long.
Well, Device, he is holding off towards the toilets. This could be a position difficult to check for Big without losing one player, but the flash goes in. Device just waiting for the follow-up as well. I knew it was coming. And Device is just going to hold. The kill comes in. That's the bomb. Dennis falls, but Device pulls the smoke, and because of that, Tabson is there for the trade. So 4v4. It is even. And Big, they've got control of the toilets if they so desire. No one from Astralis playing aggressive inside of them. They have got, of course, Dupree off towards long, and Zipex on the side itself. With Astralis having the two players over towards the B-bomb site. They might go on a bit of a push through short, Alex. They're going to get a load of info here.
Yeah, once you go into this 4v4, it can be difficult to have the information across the map. So you want to get aggressive. You want to try and get the early information so that you have a rough idea what your opponents are doing. And you can already see the rotate coming up towards A. This is the problem sometimes with Big slow play. If they lose map control, Astralis can stack the correct site. And currently that looks to be happening.
Yeah, Glaive coming in at a big flank as well. Big need to get going. Glaive is going to spray away. He gets Antares. Dupree falls, but Zipex stands up tall alongside Magisk, and it's all over. 2 in a row for Astralis. They come right out of the technical pause with a round win. And again, like you said, Big, the problem is if they take their time and they don't have map control, if they lose that, then obviously Glaive can get into a position in connector and able to flank upon them. There's not a whole lot of info available to Big at that point, and they sort of have to commit into one site with no other options.
Yeah, that is a slightly scary sign for me, that round, because that's when Big have been losing their Overpass games. That's the sort of round you see happen quite a lot, where Astralis realize once the time starts running down, it's worth playing for some information. It's worth trying to see if you can spot out where the opponents are coming from. Speaking of that, Magisk has spotted out the players towards Monster. M4 good on the opening kill of this round. Up against the pistols, this shouldn't be too hard, and Tizian is completely unaware of that position. Magisk with a nice cleanup.
All right there, Magisk.
Having fun?
Yeah, certainly having fun indeed. Well, Xantares is alone.
Doesn't want to reload.
Oh, he's hit the headshot. Close to it, through the wall maybe. And that'll be Glaive that steals it away. So, 3 each here. Astralis will even the scoreline, and once they've got the guns into their hands, they've definitely looked like a very, very strong side. This is where we've seen them have that really hot start against Team Liquid in the Pro League quarterfinals. Astralis certainly showed their capabilities on Overpass.
We are seeing a lot of those SGs, by the way. At least here on the B stream.
So many of them through. I think, obviously, the fact that it doesn't really have a counterpart, it just comes through all the time.
I thought you were going to say, obviously, because Furia played. They buy a lot of SGs. But yeah, other teams are starting to switch towards it as well. We also haven't seen a single AWP in this game so far. Those early mid-mollies keeping God B at bay. Dupree in with the double kill. This A aggression becoming an issue for Big, and they have just collapsed in this round.
Well, Astralis just having a field day at the minute, just finding all the frags needed, and well, Big, no answer just yet. Tizian and God B are going to have to try and step up into this one. And even if they had the skill set for it, it's still going to be so difficult, especially against 5 players. So it's definitely looking like Astralis will have 4-3. And that was a gun run from Big, and it just fell so quickly.
Yeah, I really feel like Big struggle to stop those mid-aggressions a lot of the time. It feels like that's a good way to get aggressive against this Big team. We've seen quite often them struggle to hold that area of the map. God B with a good flick on towards Device, who was alone in the bathrooms. That's a start, but only a start.
No, well, 35 seconds left on the clock. Big starting to make their way towards middle and long. The bomb is on the back of Tizian. He'll start to clear the angles. No one from Astralis playing aggressive. They're all sitting back on the bomb sites themselves. And Dupree on Optimus with Zipex back in the bike. Well, over the top comes the Molotov. Big look to try and execute in, and there's only a few seconds left, so they've got to go very, very quickly indeed. Their chances are slim, Alex, but there's still chances as Gold B starts the charge. He'll be the man looking for the fight, but Zipnex holding the angle. It will be Dupree as well. I like my little tongue roll. That was a spicy way of saying it, but Dupree has definitely looked like he was having a bit of difficulty there. It'll be a tactical timeout coming in for Big. 3 on the board.
Sounded very exotic the way you said Dupree.
It did.
Yeah. Bit of a slow start for Big, considering they won the pistol round and they got that early lead. These gun rounds have been somewhat disappointing for them. It might be worth getting the AWP out into this next gun round. If we're going to see that sort of aggression from Astralis, a good way to counter that could just be holding the long-range angle with the sniper. Speaking of the sniper, Device hasn't even needed the AWP yet on the CT side. He's just stuck with the rifle. Astralis keep on winning rounds, so they keep on continuing with the 5 rifle setup. And again, Big, even on the low buys, investing quite heavily into the utility. Plenty of flashbangs, plenty of smokes, but again, these mid-mollies are causing real problems for Big.
Well, Xanteris with a P250, it will be Zipnex taking the first kill and also the first death for Astralis. Device will follow up with the trade coming in, and there we go. Easy as they come inside of the connector for Device. It's all onto Tabson and Gob B. They've all got to find a way into this. And with the P250 of Tabson looking down the middle. Gob B looks to take the kill, and there it is. The door, oh, wow, that was very quick from Magis. The door just swings wide open. He takes the trade, and Tabson is alone. Awkwardly trying to get this P250 to get a kill, but it won't happen for him. Magisk will take him away, and it will be 5-3. I'm pretty sure I was listening to Anders, and obviously he's Danish, so he would know the way Magisk is pronounced. And he said, I think it's Magisk.
Magisk?
Magisk or something.
I hear some people say like Magus.
Magisk. No, I think it's Magus actually.
Magisk.
I think that was actually it.
Okay.
But I'm just going to call him Magisk because that's what I've been used to saying.
I remember when I found out that it's ZipX and not ZipNix. I was mind blown.
ZipX. Yeah, you've got a lot of names like that in Counter-Strike, and I'm sure that we pronounce a lot of the Nordic teams wrong because they've all got different ways of saying things. Now here we go. Big have got a buy coming into it. It's going to be the SG in the hands of Gob B. AK-47s are there on the rest, and utility is available to them, Alex.
This is quite a heavy B stack from Astralis. They've got the boost. They've also got a player in connector. I mean, look at the A side of the map for Astralis. It's only Device holding mid right now. They look like they are really ready for this B-sided play. I'm wondering if this is because Big haven't really gone to the B site in most of these gun rounds. Astralis just realized they're likely to switch it up, and that's exactly what's happening. And the counter molly to deny the boost. That's so well done from Astralis.
Well, that's it over pretty much. It's all on Gold B, and he will be spotted as well. Astralis holding on to the B-bomb site very well. Device to clean it up, 6-3. Another interesting takeaway from that one was the way Astralis played the boost on their side, right? A lot of teams will go towards that boost over towards water and do it immediately upon arriving in the B-bomb site. And because of that, you know, you can see a lot of teams get pre-fired, a lot of players on the T side will check that angle. But Astralis, they let them come into water and then they flash over and get the boost up very quickly. And because of that, you'll catch them off guard, they'll be blind, you get maybe a kill there. Unfortunately, Zipex couldn't find anyone, but luckily Astralis still cleaned it up.
Yeah, and I love that molly from Astralis to counter the boost that Big were going for. That boost close to the wall has become really, really common by teams on the T side. So to see an actual counter and then, that's not fun.
Yeah, they're just trying to run down connector and Big have just been sprayed through the wall. Zipex will take the first kill for Astralis without having to see anyone. So Big not off to the best of starts here in round number 10.
Maybe a little surprised that Gob B is sticking with the AK rather than dropping it for a teammate. I feel like in the past...
Everything's just going the way at the minute. Device with a kill on the Gob B. Lands the shot through the wall onto Dennis as well. He's currently on 10 HP. And the way Device is playing right now, you have to expect him to be able to pick that up as well. Oh, we spotted the head, but it's Zipex who'll take it away. So playing off of each other very well. Dupree waiting for the cross in. As Xanteris will be finished off. All on Tizian. 1 versus 5. Oh, there it is. Actually, before this tournament started today, I seen a tweet from Moses, and he was kind of talking about some people having the misconception that Astralis are no longer an elite level team, and I have to agree with him that those guys are not the most intelligent, because they certainly are.
Yeah, I mean, they've only had a couple of slightly weaker tournaments.
Yeah.
It's not like they've been losing every game. They've still been, you know, getting some good wins in some of these events, especially against a team like Big. You would expect Astralis to be favorites. That's what's coming through right now. Again, Magisk has continued his good form. Dupree's nade over the top, not successful. Big take mid control this time around. We've seen Astralis play aggressive there in the past, but this time they decide to play it safe on the A site. And again, Astralis rotating across the map quite quickly. They've got 3 players on the A side of things. And that's a switch up from the previous rounds. It feels like Astralis have been reading this pretty well so far. They've been reading Big's T side quite consistently, but Big have not decided where they want to end this round just yet.
Well, 1 minute on the clock for Big. And again, they've sent 5 of their troops. Well, 2 of them towards Connector, but it seems like they want to lean in towards the B-bomb site. 3 currently over towards either of Monster. Setting up perhaps for an execute into the B-bomb site with 45 seconds left. Magisk gets flashed in to check for info. The rest of the troops starting to make their way through here on the T side.
Look at the nades left for Astralis. With 35 seconds left on the clock, Big could be in real trouble to actually move towards this site. Luckily, though, the 2 B players don't have many nades, but the rotate is here.
Yeah, well, the Molotov goes in towards Monster to try and hold them off, but 20 seconds, they have to go. Big have to try and get into the bomb site. The rotation's through. This is going to be so difficult to get anything done. Here comes the utility from Big. Still not onto the bomb site. Device has got the first kill. It's all falling apart for the Germans. They're not going to get anywhere near this bomb site at all. It's the Danish brick wall here on the CT side, and Tizian is finished off as well. It3, Astralis are just destroying Big.
Yeah, having all those nades at the end there is just too much. They had the molly and the smoke on towards short. I think I didn't see in all the commotion whether Big smoked a molly on short and that's why there was a smoke there, but either way, it sucks for Big having to run through a smoke into a molly. You can't really do anything at that point. It feels like Big maybe need to control a bit more of the map early because, again, they leave it late. They just hope that the execute can work for them, but they're not doing enough at baiting out these nades from Astralis. This time, God B is getting aggressive. No support for him here. He's having to push alone on this side of the map, and I think we might see a faster play from Big in this round.
Oh, well, God B spots Device. It'll actually just be Glaive taking the early kill. So 3 come in for Glaive, and Zipek's able to drop Tizian. All on God B. It looked like there was a slight chance for Big to find the opening kill, then suddenly Glaive just gets 3 kills. Unbelievable. And God B, unfortunately, is on his lonesome.
I feel like the least said about this round for Big, the better. Because they just got mowed down.
Yeah, it was very quick. Glaive certainly showing up, and that's a good sign for Astralis. You know, having Glaive, your in-game leader, still able to frag like he does. Had a little bit of a drop-off, but performing very well.
Well, the aggression's going to come towards Gob. Doesn't expect it, though. Magisk in position to close out the round. I think that was an example of Big trying to switch up their play style just because it's been going so badly for them. If I'm not mistaken, they were 3-0 up, weren't they? And
yeah, they
won won 9 in a row.
They won the first 3 in a row.
Yeah. So
and
they haven't won a gun round.
As soon as Astralis got the weapons into their hands, it's just been an easy time of things. And Big, well, they've shown that they have plans, but I'm really starting to question their decision to go here. You know, yeah, Inferno is a good map for Astralis, but Big have shown they can beat them on it. Very strange to see an overpass come through. But obviously, I think Big will start to feel that too.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be feeling the wrath of Astralis right now. Again, Astralis beat Liquid on this map back at Pro League, 16-12.
And you have to remember that it was 16-12, but the start that Astralis had was so dominant.
Exactly. In this one, Big not having too much to work with. It looks like this time Dennis is saving a bit more money. So maybe it's time for Big to try and switch things up by getting that AWP out, which we haven't seen from them on their T side so far.
Well, Dupree playing inside the toilets. If he gets the timing wrong, he might just be caught in the back, though, as he's aware of long, and there we go. The timing is perfect for Big, as Gold B will take him away. Man advantage is there on the T side, and Astralis will have to try and set up their defense accordingly as Zip next goes on a bit of a push through long. Magisk, oh, spotted by Tizian, and the headshot comes through from the Deagle. This is the best chance Big have had yet.
Ooh, Zip waiting round the corner. We saw Dupree play this position previously. Zip goes forwards, and Xantares is successfully going to trade him out. Looking for the AK, which he will recover. Now Big just need to group up with 25 seconds left on the clock. All they need to do is group up towards a bomb site, and they've decided to hit B. The Molotov is going to make life awkward for Glaive. He has to go forwards, and Big need to move in here, but they should have this site.
Well, Glaive on top. He might just get the timing wrong though. As he looks back in, it's going to be Dennis coming in from behind. So Big certainly looking like they will get this one on the belt at least. So Device, AWP at hand as he runs away. They'll have to concede this one. It's going to be 9-4. If Big can somehow salvage this half, I'll be so impressed.
At least they've...
Device is about to run into them. Tizian's just waiting the other end. Device, he's going to get his head torn off.
Well, they don't even have to buy the AWP.
Well, yeah,
which is nice.
There's not a problem here on the Astralis side for money though. Magisk was on 16k, so definitely not a problem in Astralis' banks. And Big, well, a tactical timeout comes in. Finally, they get control of the economy, and finally they get a chance here in a gun round. Because, like you said, Astralis just being so dominant, winning 9 in a row there. Big finally get a chance to string a few together. If they can get 9-6, Alex, that would be absolutely amazing for them.
Like you were pointing out, the money for Astralis allows a double AWP setup for them. And if you haven't seen Big play in a little bit, you might be surprised to see Dennis on the AWP, but he has taken it instead of Tabson. He's been looking decent when he's had the AWP, I think. I was kind of surprised that Dennis didn't get the AWP out earlier here on Overpass. I thought he might save for that one. It's only round 14 where he gets the big green gun into his hands. Let's see if Dennis can put the sniper to use. Not going to be easy against a AWPer of Device's caliber on the CT side, and obviously Glaive also there with the AWP, and some quick aggression coming through for Big, trying to take control towards B short. Tizian also there to assist, and Dennis goes down. The AWP hungry for the opening frag, but it's not going to happen for them. Big lose the opening fight, and we've seen this time after time.
Problem is for Big, if you win one and you can't follow up on it, you're just going to kill any momentum that's possibly there. Any momentum that could be built. Astralis have just sent it to the bin for Big, unless Tabson, Gold B and Xantares step up in a big way. And there's a chance for Xantares, but loses the duel against Dupree. And the peaks are just lightning fast from Astralis. Gold B will flash over the top of middle. Wants to get in with his Krieg to try and force a fight, but Tabson, he's pushed through long. He's had a bit of a quiet performance himself, just much like the rest of his team though. And Zipnex will take rid of him. Will just be Gold B, and Zipex will drop him as well. Double figures for Astralis. After that small hiccup, they answer right back.
Yeah, the individuals have been quiet on the Big side. Tabson and Xantares, you would normally expect to be making a couple of big plays, but I guess that's the kind of effect. I said big plays, didn't I?
You did it again.
I did it. Making huge plays.
There we go. That's better.
I think against Astralis especially, you obviously struggle maybe to get those individuals going sometimes. Dupree with the AWP this time. Double AWPs on both sides. I think this is the point where Tabson's just decided, you know what, screw it. I need to do something. We need to get something going. So he's bought the AWP. See if he can get anything going.
4 AWPs on the server, ladies and gentlemen, in run number 15. This is where things get very exciting indeed. And will be the kill from Tabson, starting things off. Big have the early advantage. That might have been through the smoke as well on the Magisk.
Ooh, Xantares not happy with a one-man lead. Goes for a little bit more. Glaive around the corner. Damage done. But he's unable to do enough. Decides to fall back to safety. Again, there's that molly from Astralis, just trying to stop the boost from coming into play. But Big are playing very static across the map.
Astralis use so much utility towards that water position. Pretty much everyone on the CT side. And it makes it so difficult for Big to try and get forward. We've seen a lot of teams love to go for that short aggression, just charge up immediately. Twist does it on Liquid, loves to just get up short. And perhaps this style from Astralis, where they put so much utility in towards water, could actually stop that from happening.
B stack is in place. Here comes the boost though. No molly to stop it this time. Tizian drops down, so noise is made. And again, Astralis are one step ahead of their opponents. They've got 3 players in position on the B site. They've got this crossfire established at Monster. This could really work for them.
They've also got dupreeh cutting off the rotation if it comes back over towards the A bomb side, but it's not going to. It's the commit in towards B. Device picks up 1, Zip next with 2, but it's all onto God B as he has to make the clutch happen. There's the first running back into the bomb site. Oh, God B nearly gets the follow-up, but Device puts him to bed. That's it for the half. 11-4 coming in. I'm looking forward to seeing if Big can step up as we go to a short break.
Of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We got 2 hearts that beat in time, and the towers looking down all night, blocking out the sun beneath. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see. Gonna take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night. Gonna take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night. Sleep through the sunrise. Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. I'll take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside.
I've been working part-time jobs, chasing all my dreams out lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always.
Well, a strong CT half gives Astralis an 11-4 lead moving into the second half. Big have to show up in a large way, Alex.
There you go. Not saying Big this time. And yeah, if you've just joined us, Big won the pistol round, got off to a 3-0 lead, and then couldn't get anything going in the gun rounds. Let's see if they can repeat that pistol round performance, though.
Well, there's a fast play from Astralis right towards the B bomb site. dupreeh manages 2 quick kills. It's all onto Tabson, Dennis, and God B. And the headshot comes back in from Tabson, but dupreeh's there with the kill. It's all on Dennis and God B, left for Big to try and make this happen. And this is just lightning fast from Astralis. Absolutely no chance for God B. It's over. 12-4. Astralis win the pistol in record time.
Yeah, really trying to make that one happen as soon as they could, not wasting any time. They want this game over. I guess at this point, if you're Big, you probably just, I was going to say maybe just take the save so you can get the gun round, but the force spy's kind of understandable as well because they're just so far behind.
One of the only rounds that Big won in that first half was off the back of pistols, Alex. When they had the guns, they just got outclassed. So maybe there's something to this, Alex.
There's only the one AK for Astralis, but because of that, they're going for the same play.
Okay, then fast playing towards B, but this time Tizian and Zenteras get 2 kills. Magisk only getting 1 back onto that of Tizian. The man advantage is there for Big. Magisk cannot find the follow-up, and so still a chance, but whoa, what was that? Ferrari peek from Zipbex. He'll get a follow-up. It's all on Dennis and God B.
Zipnex is speeding right now. Oh my god, just rushing into the B site. And now Big are left behind, trying to come back into this round. Dennis and Gob B are about to move forwards, but Glaive is up close with the UMP. Oh, nearly looks away, but Gob B takes his head off. Magisk here with the AK, decides to reposition, playing it safe, playing the time. There's no kit in play, and there's no chance for Gob B. Magisk closes it out with the rifle. That one AK comes through.
Well, 13-4, Alex. Could this be another blowout coming through? We see an NRG dismantle Furia on Nuke earlier. Astralis looking to do the same here against Big. Big have gone for the nades. They're going to go for a nade stack, Alex. The best they can hope for here is a kill.
Surely Astralis don't rush B again, right? No, not quite. They've got 3 of them, though. Against the low buy, you don't really need to go for the quick aggression. These nades could be good, though. Oh, they're currently over towards Monster. Big trying to see if they can line those up, but I don't know if those nades are really going to have too much of an impact. They all go in towards short and they all do nothing.
Well, they're going for the boost, but Antares is close towards short. Surely they can somewhat expect this. They go for a boost themselves here, Big. I think once the Astralis realise all the players are here, he's going to get all the kills. As Glaive will take away his Antares, Dupree and Zipnek stepping up as well. All on Tizian and Gob B.
They've left the bomb, by the way, but who cares?
Yeah, they don't need it. They're just obviously wanting to play for elimination at this point, which is kind of strange to see Astralis not bring the ball to a bomb site. Well, all on Gob B. And he will be dropped. There we go, 14-4.
Don't need the bomb if you can get all the kills. That's the philosophy that Astralis were taking in that round.
It just kind of shows how confident they are. They can just go straight into round and just go straight away, take all the kills instead of planting the bomb.
Here comes that AWP again for Dennis. Haven't really seen too much from him. He hadn't really had the opportunity with the AWP though. Maybe on the CT side, he will have a better chance. Dennis and Gob B playing on the A side of the map. 2 early mollies in towards mid. We're seeing many teams go for those early mollies into mid now, and you can see Device is kept at bay because of that, but Gob B tries to fight towards him, and Device happily holds the angle.
Well, on the B bomb site, currently 2 players stand. It is Antares. Of course, Tizian trying to hold on, but with the time still plentiful, Astralis can take their time. Device just walking straight through toilets. He's going to try and get some information. He's playing contact in towards the A bomb site. He might just get a kill here. Oh, Dennis who crosses over. Unfortunately, Device cannot flick fast enough, so
Ooh,
Dennis will stay
Tabson's
alive.
on the flank.
And Tabson, yeah, he's pushed all the way through long. 55 seconds. This could be a big play from his Glaive. Has no idea. He's trying to line it up. There's the kill from Tabson. Back into the 4v4.
That leaves Astralis with an awkward situation in terms of that A side of the map. The bomb's going towards A. The bomb doesn't go down. If Magisk dies off there, then they could have problems. But now Astralis can group up safely, and it's only Dennis and Xantares left.
Yeah, well, Dennis is rotating straight away. He knows the ghost is up and the bomb will be heading in towards the A bomb site, but Dennis gets one, traded right back by Device, and it's all on Xantares. Alone on the B bomb site. He's got an M4. Probably just going to try and carry that one into the next, as this is looking like Astralis might just close this game out.
Yeah, not much for Xantares to do here. This is a good look for Astralis, obviously, in this opening game. As for Big, again, we said they took that 3-0 lead at the start of the game. Ever since then, almost every single round has gone the way of Astralis. Not what the Germans were looking for on home soil. Especially after that performance at Cologne last year, it would be great to see Big make it into the Cathedral of Counter-Strike. Going to need to step things up in this tournament though, maybe in the lower brackets at this point, because it looks as though Astralis have got their number.
Well, here it is. Match point for Astralis. A 16-4 would be exactly the statement they look to make coming into this tournament. That would certainly be the start that they would want as big. Well, here's their chance. Can they start to salvage some sort of way back into this? It's going to be the M4A4 for Xanteras. Alongside Dennis, who has got one of them in his hands as well. He's the man on your screen. Inside of Connector, Dupree might just be the player to drop it, but he pulls the Molotov. Dupree will still get the kill, and that is just incredible.
Oh man, that was a good chance for Dennis to open up the round, but it doesn't happen for him. Damage done. Xanteras manages to find the frag thanks to the flash assist from Tabson. Again, Astralis leaving the bomb behind, but they are grouping up towards the A side of the map. The CT's starting to rotate up towards A, but Astralis have gained so much ground here. Gob B doesn't get to spot them, and it is going to be Big in trouble on this retake.
Well, Xanteras coming back in from Bike. He will look to spot anybody he can. It will be Xanteras starting to spam away a little bit. Drop to 7 HP. It's Device taking him away. It's Captain and Tizian. Only Tizian. And it looks as though Astralis have done it. 16-4. What a performance here on Overpass, Alex. And what a statement to make coming into this tournament.
And this is what we want to see from Astralis. This level of play. Team play looking good. Individuals looking great as well. It's nice to see a game where they don't need Device to be right at the top of the scoreboard. It's the entire team showing up. Tizian trying to see if he can do anything at the end here. 1 kill found with the MP9, but that's all she wrote. Astralis take it 16-4.
It's such a performance from Astralis coming into this. The first 3 were picked up as well from Big, so they only won 1 round since then, and it was a pistol win. So not exactly the greatest performance from Big, we'll have to say. They'll have to try and step up if they want any chance of replicating their success at last year's Cologne.